To receive an award for public service is to, at the same time, feel an overwhelming sense of wanting to share the award. Because this award may carry my name, but it belongs to oh so many people. It belongs to my family. It belongs to my colleagues who have become close friends, to my friends beyond my professional world, and to so many people who have supported me not only in their perception of the job I do professionally, but in helping me pursue endeavors of public service. Public service can be very tough. It can be overwhelming. It can be sometimes painful. What I do in the realm of trying to make this a better place, I do not do by myself. I get a lot of help from people I love and people who have shown that they love me, and for that I am grateful in a boundless sense. I share this with my immediate family, my wife Lucy, my son Cuauhtemoc, who is starting to doze off, the rest of the members of my family, and especially to my elderly parents who, because they're elderly, could not be here. Manuel Chacon, 85 years old, Antonia Chacon, your daughter's Tocaya, Fernando. Antonia Chacon, 82, are shining examples of inspiration for a growing child. My parents crossed the border in El Paso in 1954 with 7 kids behind them. My dad without a job, with only a few dollars in his pocket, and by the end of the day in El Paso he had found a job and didn't stop till only a few years ago. When times were tough for him as far as employment, he was forced to take on his side the 4 oldest of his children. Hortensia, my sister, among them. And we picked crops. We picked cotton in the outskirts of El Paso, we picked onions, we picked tomatoes. And eventually we were forced by circumstance to come to California, where we picked apricots, pears, prunes, walnuts, garlic in Gilroy. 115 degrees for 85 cents an hour. It was overwhelming work, but it is where my dad taught me to work. It is where my dad taught me that to persevere and to work hard is to excel. I remember one day sitting in the back seat of the car on the way to Gilroy, and under the Morgan Hill trestle on Monterey Road, the damage on the road prompted the car to bounce a little bit, and I was awakened. I was a 13-year-old boy, and I had fallen asleep on the way to work. When I was awakened, I told my dad, You know, Dad, when I grow up, I'm going to find a job that starts at 9 o'clock. He said, they don't make jobs like that. So a few years later, when the conversation came up, he said, did you ever find that job that starts at 9 o'clock? I said, well, I did, and when I have to get there after 9 o'clock, they know how to reach me by pager or by cell phone. In that part of my life, and as a news reporter for the last 30 years, which, by the way, is simply the official description for messengers. We are simply messengers of the human experience. In both roles, I have seen the disparity in society. I have seen that multi-billion-dollar corporations and multi-million-dollar salaries are driving distance within minutes from the homes of children who go to bed hungry. Abrazos in Books was mentioned by Eddie as an entity that I started to help children and to provide scholarships. Again, I don't do it by myself. Abrazos in Books provides scholarships for a few children in the poverty-stricken communities outside of Mexico City, but predominantly for students from Santa Clara County. And if you were to line up all our recipients from Santa Clara County, they would look like the General Assembly of the United Nations, because we provide scholarships for students of all ethnic backgrounds. And we have seen them go from East San Jose, from Campbell, from Cupertino, from Gilroy, from Morgan Hill, from Mountain View, from Sunnyvale, to MIT and Yale and Harvard and San Jose State and Stanford.